Ace Personal Trainer Manual, Chapter 8, starting on page 226, Field Testing. Most field tests are simple to administer, involve very little expense, and can be used for testing multiple clients. Many of the field tests described in this section can also be self-administered, allowing clients to periodically reassess their own progress. These assessments offer reliable testing methods for a personal trainer who does not have access to traditional testing equipment found in a fitness center or health club. Since many of the field tests can be performed outside, it is important to be mindful of extreme weather conditions and avoid exercise testing during extreme heat and humidity or when the weather turns cold. Contraindications. Outdoor walk-run testing is not appropriate in extreme weather conditions for individuals with health challenges that would preclude continuous walking, e.g. intermittent leg claudation or osteoarthritis of the knee or hip. For individuals with breathing difficulties exacerbated by pollution or outdoor allergens, running tests are not recommended for those who are deconditioned. Rockport Fitness Walking Test, 1 mile. The purpose of the Rockport Fitness Walking Test is to estimate the VO2 max from a client's immediate post-exercise heart rate. This test involves the completion of a 1 mile or 1.6 kilometer walking course as fast as possible. The VO2 max is calculated using the client's immediate post-exercise heart rate and his or her 1 mile walk time. The test is suitable for many individuals, easy to administer, and inexpensive to conduct. However, considering that walking may not elicit much of a cardiorespiratory challenge to conditioned individuals, this test will generally underpredict VO2 max in fit individuals and is therefore not appropriate for that population group. A running track is the preferred testing surface. Most running tracks in the United States are a quarter mile in distance, which means that walking 4 times around the innermost lane will equal 1 mile. This test is also suitable for testing large groups of people. Clients can periodically reassess their own fitness level by self-administering this test. This method of testing would also be preferred for a client who intends to walk or run outdoors as his or her mode of fitness training. Research has shown that clients using a treadmill and walking on a track achieved similar VO2 max results. When the weather is inclement and or track is not available, a treadmill test can be administered. Equipment: quarter-mile track or suitable alternative, e.g. a treadmill, a stopwatch, a RPE chart, heart rate monitor with chest strap optional. Pre-test procedure. After explaining the purpose of the 1 mile Rockport Fitness Walking Test, define the 1 mile course. The goal of the test is to walk as fast as possible for 1 mile. Running is not permitted for this test. Pacing is strongly recommended throughout the test. Discuss RPE and remind the client that he or she will be asked for perceived exertion levels throughout the test. Test protocol and administration. Record the client's weight in kilograms and age. On the trainer's go, the stopwatch is started and the client begins. The client's 1 mile or 1.6 kilometer time, rate of perceived exertion, and immediate post-exercise heart rate are recorded on the testing form. If a heart rate monitor is not used, a manual pulse count should be done for 15 seconds and then multiplied by 4 to determine an accurate heart rate immediately post-exercise. Encourage a 3 to 5 minute cooldown, followed by stretching of the lower extremities. Evaluation performance. The client's information is plugged into one of the following formulas. Females VO2 equals 132.853 minus 0.1692 times weight in kilograms minus age multiplied by 0.3877 minus 3.265 times the walk time expressed in minutes to the nearest 100th minus the heart rate that is multiplied by 0.1565. Oh my goodness. So the same type of equation is used for males I highly recommend you check it out. It's at the bottom of page 227. After you plug the client's information into one of the formulas, you record the values on the testing form. It is also important to include the weather, surface conditions, or any other variables that may have an impact on overall time. Continue to observe the client as negative symptoms can arise immediately post-exercise. Evaluate the client's score using Table 8 TAC 12 or use Table 8 TAC 14 to classify performance using normative data. On page 228, you have Table 8 TAC 14, and it shows normative values for the Rockport walking test. You have a rating of excellent, good, high average, low average, fair, and poor, and then you have percentiles of 90%, 75%, 50%, 25%, and 10%. Then you have males in their age categories, and you have females in their age categories. And then you have an example of doing the math with that really long calculation for VO2 max. Jessica, a 26-year-old client weighing 125 pounds, 56.8 kilograms, completes the 1 mile walk in 16 minutes and 40 seconds with an immediate post-exercise heart rate of 132 beats per minute. You calculate her VO2 max, and her VO2 max is 38.07. All right. 1.5 mile run test. The 1.5 mile or 2.4 kilometer run test is used by the U.S. Navy to evaluate cardiovascular fitness levels of its personnel. The purpose of this test is to measure cardiovascular endurance and muscular endurance of the legs. Like the Rockport 1 mile or 1.6 kilometer fitness walking test, the goal of this test is to cover the required distance in the least amount of time. A running track is the preferred setting. Due to the intense nature of running, this test is not suitable for less conditioned individuals. Effective pacing is important for a successful outcome. Equipment: quarter-mile track or suitable alternative like a treadmill, a stopwatch, and optional is a heart rate monitor with a chest strap. Pre-test procedure. After explaining the purpose of the 1.5 mile run test, define the course. The goal of the test is to run as fast as possible for 1.5 miles. Walking is permitted if necessary, though it will create an underestimation of the VO2 max score. Record the client's weight in kilograms. On the trainer's go, the stopwatch is started and client begins. Record the client's time and immediate post-exercise heart rate on the testing form. Encourage a 3 to 5 minute cooldown, followed by the stretching of the lower extremities. The client information is plugged into the following formula. VO2 max equals 88.02 minus 0.1656 times weight in kilograms minus 2.76 times time, expressed in minutes to the nearest hundredth, plus 3.716 times the gender, 1 for males, 0 for females. Classify the client's score using Table 8 TAC 12 or the normative data presented in Table 8 TAC 15 and record the values on the testing form. Continue to observe the client as negative symptoms can arise immediately post-exercise. And then you have Table 8 TAC 15, which is normative values for the 1.5 mile run. Gives you different categories of age, different percentiles, and of course different times for each age category and each gender. Todd, a 35-year-old client weighing 175 pounds, completes the 1.5 mile run in 11 minutes and 20 seconds with an immediate post-exercise heart rate of 155 beats per minute. You calculate his VO2 max, and turns out he has a 47.30 milliliter per kilogram per minute VO2 max. Step tests. Step tests are another tool used to assess cardiorespiratory fitness. In general, step tests require the subject to step continuously at a specific cadence or pace for a predetermined time frame, usually 3 minutes. Fitness level is determined by the immediate post-exercise recovery heart rate. More fit individuals will, 1, not work as hard during exercise and require less effort from their heart rate, and recover from exercise faster than those who are less fit. In essence, the lower the exercising or recovery heart rate, the higher the level of fitness. Given the relatively low cardiorespiratory challenge of these tests, they are not appropriate for fit individuals as they do not differentiate fitness levels between fit and very fit individuals. Step tests are very simple to administer, require very little investment in supplies, and take very little time. Another advantage of step tests is that they can be administered to large groups and even be self-administered. Contraindications. Due to the nature of step testing, this assessment may not be appropriate for individuals who are extremely overweight, individuals with balance concerns, individuals with orthopedic problems, e.g. knee or low back, individuals who are extremely deconditioned as the intensity of the test may require near maximal effort, and individuals who are short in stature, as they may have trouble with the step height. YMCA submaximal step test. The YMCA submaximal step test is one of the most popular step tests used to measure cardiorespiratory endurance and is considered suitable for low-risk, apparently healthy, non-athletic individuals between the ages of 20 and 59. This particular test uses any 12-inch, 30.5 centimeter step, with the Reebok step being utilized most frequently in fitness settings, 4 risers plus the platform. The equipment: a 12-inch or 30.5 centimeter step, a stopwatch, a metronome, and a stethoscope, which is optional. Pre-test procedures. After explaining the purpose of the YMCA submaximal step test, set the metronome to a cadence of 96 clicks per minute, which represents 24 step cycles per minute or 96 foot placements. Describe and demonstrate the 4-part stepping motion: up, up, down, down. Either foot can lead the step sequence. Permit a short practice to allow clients to familiarize themselves with the cadence. The goal of the test is to step up and down on a 12-inch riser for 3 minutes. Explain to the client that the heart rate will be measured through palpitation or auscultation for 1 full minute upon completion of the test, counting the number of beats during the first minute of recovery. It is important for the client to sit down immediately following the test and remain quiet to allow the trainer to accurately assess the heart rate. Test protocol and administration. On the trainer's cue, the client begins stepping and the stopwatch is started. The trainer can coach the initial steps to make sure the client is keeping pace with the metronome. Cue the time remaining to allow the client to stay on task. At the 3-minute mark, the test is stopped and the client immediately sits down. Count the client's heart rate for 1 entire minute. The test score is based on the fact that the immediate post-exercise heart rate will decrease throughout the minute cycle. It is important that the heart rate check begin with 5 seconds of test completion. Placing a stethoscope to the client's chest enhances the tester's ability to count the actual heartbeats. In some cases, the client may be uncomfortable with this procedure, in which case a radial pulse check will also suffice. The client's 1-minute post-exercise heart rate is recorded on the testing form. Encourage a 3 to 5 minute cooldown, followed by stretching of the lower extremities. The client may experience post-exercise dizziness or other signs of distress if no cooldown is performed, i.e. blood pooling in the extremities and accelerated heart rate. Classify the client's score using Table 8 TAC 16 or 8 TAC 17 and record the values on the testing form. Continue to observe the client as negative symptoms can arise post-exercise. For those who score below average to very poor, it will be necessary to be conservative in the initial exercise program. Keeping exercise duration and intensity to a minimum will be important. For those who score above average to excellent, it would be appropriate to focus on exercise duration as well as intensity. Page 232 lists Table 8 TAC 16 and Table 8 TAC 17, both of which describe, for men and women, the post-exercise heart rate norms for the YMCA submaximal step test. Ratings are excellent, good, above average, average, below average, poor, and very poor. You're given a percentage of rating, and there are 6 age groups for both men and women. Apply what you know. Applying the results of cardiorespiratory fitness testing. If any negative signs or symptoms arise during exercise testing, the client's personal physician should be notified immediately. Emergency medical services should be called when severe signs or symptoms arise, including the following: unconsciousness, chest pain or other signs or symptoms of heart attack or cardiac distress, extreme difficulty in breathing that cannot be controlled with rest. If the cardiorespiratory testing was unremarkable, an appropriate fitness program can be initiated. For novice exercisers and those who score in the lowest percentiles, improving on cardiorespiratory fitness should be addressed in a twofold manner. The first goal is to gradually increase exercise duration. This allows the body to adapt to the new demands of exercise and respond accordingly, e.g. increase in capillary density, increase in mitochondrial size and number, and enhanced ability to remove lactate. Initially, training volume can be increased by 10 to 20% per week until the desired training volume is achieved. For those who already have a solid cardiorespiratory fitness base, training should focus on increasing exercise intensity. As long as there are no contraindications to higher intensity training, it is appropriate to incorporate higher intensity steady state training as well as interval training. Cardiorespiratory fitness is a strong predictor of morbidity and mortality. Low levels of cardiorespiratory fitness have been linked to increased risk of premature death from all causes, especially from cardiovascular disease. High levels of cardiorespiratory fitness are associated with increased levels of regular physical activity, which translates to numerous health benefits. Once the client's cardiorespiratory fitness level has been established and any cardiovascular health risks have been ruled out, it is important to understand how to safely and efficiently improve upon his or her results. Trainers should keep in mind that physical fitness exists in a continuum, ranging from function and health to peak sports performance. The time and energy commitment required to improve sports performance is obviously much more involved than the requirements for improving overall health. To achieve health-related benefits, physical activity recommendations from the Surgeon General, CDC, and ACSM suggest 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 2008, states that 150 minutes of weekly moderate intensity aerobic activity is important for health, but these guidelines also add another dimension to the recommendations. 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity provides suitable health benefits. For clients who are not capable of achieving these recommendations at the outset, reaching this level of activity should be the primary goal during the initial conditioning stage. It is prudent for personal trainers to encourage regular participation in cardiorespiratory activities. Chapter 11 provides details for developing safe and effective cardiorespiratory exercise plans.